Well, it's Saturday morning here. We're going to finish up chopping today. And the chopper here needs new sharpening stone. So we're going to go ahead and get it on there. Let's set you up here like this. Alright, so I got a new sharpening stone here. Tools it's going to need to get it out of there. I can set these sockets right here, I believe. Alright, so we got a new stone here. Go ahead and pull it out of its appropriate container. We'll get that setting up here out of the way. And I need to find a way to get stood up here. Alright. This is always easier to do back at the shop, but we don't have that option today. Well, we're pretty well dulled up here. We're peened over quite well here, so we got to get a good sharpening on them, and we're pretty well down on the stone here. You can see that this is the stone right here, and that's all wore off. So we're gonna go ahead and take the bolt here out of the sharpening stone unit itself so that we can slide it over and get the stone unbolted. If I can get this ratchet to go the right way. That bolt loosened up. We're gonna get it out of its place here. Got a couple more tools in here. Alright, so I got the bolt removed from the chain that pulls this. This chain goes back and forth and it pulls the stone back. So now I got the stone moved over out of the way, and I'll be able to get these nuts off the studs that are on the stone holder. So I'm going to go ahead and get them. I can get them off in there, but first I'm going to release the dog on top of the adjuster that pushes that stone down. Every time that stone advances over to that other side, it clicks it one tooth. I can't turn it by hand here. So I'm going to go ahead and release this dog paw, locking paw on this side here. Just spin this guy up out of the way. Tighten him down a little bit so he doesn't end up moving back down. It's just a piece of spring steel, and if you happen to force it the other way, you'll break it. So we got that out of there. Now I don't have the right socket. I need a. Alright, so we're just gonna take this sharpening stone adjuster, and we're going to adjust it all the way to the top here. What this is going to do is it's going to bring the stone back up. So it is. Needs some lubricant maybe. Grease there, isn't there? Put a little grease in there. Alright, so got one of these antique grease guns here. I'm going to go ahead and put a shot of grease in the back side. There's a grease zerk here. That should have enough grease in it. We got one other grease zerk on this sharpening stone right here, but I want to grease that till I get the stone out of place here. Man, that needs a larger, I need a larger tool. I get a 1/2 inch drive that's turning hard. Alright, so we're getting this released here. We'll draw that up. We're going to draw this stone up to the top. Alright, so we're drawing this stone up to the top here. That up to the top. Grab my 15mm socket here. There's that one. There's that one. Alright, so we're getting the nuts loose on the stone here. Alright, so I've got all the nuts off in there except this one. So I'm going to spin that guy off. And the stone, the old stone's just going to drop. That's alright. There, alright. So I got all the nuts off. Got the old stone. Pull that guy out of there. Now, here is the old stone, which I've taken it down past its limit more or less. There ain't much surface area left on that. And then this here is the new one. I'm going to throw this out of the way. Now I'm going to slide. Yeah, I don't know how much you guys can see here. I'm going to set this stone over in the parked position. I'm just going to kind of slide the there it goes. So now I've got it in place. I just got to fiddle down in here, get it not started. It's all left-hand thumb work, of course. Alright, now we've got it slid over. I should have enough room to get both hands down in here now. I've got 2 nuts on there. There. Alright, now we're tight. We're tight, and we are quite a ways off of that knife right there. So I'm gonna run this adjuster here back down against the knife. And I'm gonna get it somewhat close. And then when we go into a knife sharpening cycle, I can let it adjust itself back down into the position it needs to be in. We want to just hover that knife. You don't want to be down entirely tight, because what it has to do is it has to create a little curve to that stone. So when this stone is first starting out here, it's quite aggressive. So we've got to let it get itself adjusted in there first. Alright, so I'm right there. I'm scrubbing the knives now. I am a little too close for comfort. I'm banging that second knife over. So we're gonna pull this up some, just so that it's not, I don't want it touching the knife, because these knives might be knocked back a little bit. So I'll bring that up a little, just so that it's not touching nothing. Now we'll take this paw here, right here, we'll loosen that up. Let that fall back down into place here, and get it tightened back up. There. Alright, now run this just so that it drops in. Now that's dropped in. Now when this goes, that's going to go all the way over to there, and then it's gonna hit that metal paw right there, and it's going to cause this to advance. I'm going to go ahead and put this bolt back in right here, where it bolts up to the chain here, right here. Now the 7780, this is an 8700. The 7780, the stone parked over on the left hand side, and instead of, looks like this is a number 41 chain, instead of a chain, it had a cable. And what it had on the knife sharpening adjuster was a squeeze clamp that squeezed down over the cable, and you do basically the same thing. You don't have to take the bolt all the way out on the 7780 like you do on this one, because we're actually bolting down into a plate. On the 7780, you could where are we here? You could just loosen up the cable clamp a little bit, and once that was allowed to slide a little bit, you were able to slide it out of place. So I've got this guy back in place here. Let's see if I can see you guys. I've got this guy back into place. Now I just got to find my bolt. Now we're going to drop this bolt down through here, and alright, we'll get this bolt tightened up here. Alright, so we got that bolt tight. Sharpening stone's on. I'm going to blow this area out here. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do before I jump out of here is put a little grease in this guy here. take care of stone sharpening replacement. I don't know if I can get off of here without killing myself. Okay, I'm going to blow this off, and it should be about full of fuel now, so set this stuff over here. Alright, so we got the stone on there, fuel's in it. We're going to go ahead and set up a knife sharpening process here. We'll go into the cutter head page. Alright, set new value. We're going to set it to, I'm going to set it to 500. What that is, that's out of range. It only likes 450. Forgot about that. Alright, so we put a new stone in there, and the factory default is once that stone runs back and forth across the knives 450 times, it'll trigger a alarm here, and it'll tell you how many cycles you have left on your knife sharpening. So you usually go more than 450. So we're just resetting that. Now, it's telling me my door's open, which is that's fine. Hit the knife sharpening cycle button. I'm going to change it from 30 to 60. It's going to have to go across the knives a few times before it actually comes into contact with the knife drum. Now, we could go into a shear bar set automatically after the knife sharpening set, but my knives are so dull, I want to run 60 passes, check them, run it farther if I have to, or I can go in. I want to check them before I set the shear bar. So now that we're just going to sharpen the knives, we're going to hit this tab. Now, knife drum's going to start up to 350 RPMs, or 330, somewhere in there. Now the stone is starting to sweep across the knife drum. It's coming across. I'm going to have to make a few passes. Put the socket down in here. That's not good. So it's going to have to take a few passes until that stone comes into direct contact with them knives. So we're just going to let her go here for a minute until that stone comes into contact with the knives. I'm going to go ahead and start blowing this off so that we don't have any fires. Let that run its course. I could reach in and try turning that by hand, but that's just new enough and just stiff enough that it doesn't like to turn by hand. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get this blown off here. Okay, so this has just started to come into, the stone has just come into the knives now. You can hear her grinding. A couple more strokes and that'll be right in where it needs to be. Okay, we've made 100 passes on these knives. And I got an awful tight fit here. I gotta lose some weight and get in and out of here a little easier. Yeah. So, I'm gonna check these knives. We've been over them 100 times now with the sharpening stone. So we're going to reach down in and grab a hold of these guys. They're getting better, but we got some areas right there that I just don't like. What I got to be careful of is we're getting down to the point where there isn't much knife left. Well, yeah, I'm getting down to the point, but I've got a fair amount left. I'm feeling the hard surface area here now, and we are good to go to hit this. I'm going to hit it 60 more times. I'm going to replace these knives after I get done today anyways, so the only thing I'm going to be wasting is the sharpening stone. So as you can see, I got a tight fit here. Alright, so jump back up in here, do what we did before, hit this guy here. We want to sharpen again 60 more times, which is aggressive. We're going to let that do her thing. And I carry a box of knives with me that I've never had to dig into before. We always carried separate knives on the other chopper as well. And here's what a new knife looks like. If I can dig one out here. Here's the hard surface area is right here. I'm down to about right there on the knives that are in this machine. So I burned about 2/3 of my knives up already. So we're going to let that sharpen through its cycle one more time here. Okay, so the new sharpening stone's on. Went across the knives, sent it across the knives 100 times. Now it's going through 60 more times. So that'll be a total of 160 cycles to get them knives in working order. Now, just gotta rinse my hands off here. John Deere put a little water tank in this fender here, and you can fill it right here with water. Throw a bar of soap in there, and you can use it to rinse your hands off with here. So we're gonna let that finish its cycle up, and we are gonna get the shear bar set, and we will get on our way here. The truck should be here in 20 minutes. Okay, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this camera here up in the cab. Let that do its thing. It'll tell me how many cycles are left just by looking at it here. So it's down. It's done 27 times. It's got 33 left, now 32. So knife drum is spinning at 340, 350 RPMs. Well, folks, that'll do her. Thanks for watching. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you at the next video. Thank you. We done sharpening that last time, so we're just going to do a little inspection here. The knives went across, or that sharpening stone went across these knives 160 times. And although we're a little blunt there, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do another 30. Just don't like that. Yeah, I'm gonna do another 30. So Okay, so that makes 190 cycles roughly, and we are in about the best shape we're going to be in. See, that knife there is actually moved back, and another one there is there. So we're about as good a shape as we're going to be in. So now we're going to set the shear bar. Alright, so we're going to jump up in here, hit the shear bar set button there, let that dial itself up so it's spinning the drum, and then what it's going to do is it's going to start dialing this. And you can see the one motor spun on this side, now it's gone over to the other side. That motor right there is causing that shear bar to move in to the knives. Now once it gets to a knock and hitting the knife, it'll stop. That's having to move back quite a ways because I ground so much off. There's the knock right there. Now it's gathered to knock, now it's going to start releasing itself. It scared me there for a minute. I thought it was going to keep going. I've had that happen before. I've had the shear bar keep going before and have a sensor bad. So now it's released itself. It's backed itself off of the knock. It's got itself adjusted. Now we're going to get moving here. I'll move up. Alright, so this will be the first load with the freshly sharpened knives. Getting the pipe up in place here. Let's see how much better she does. Okay. According to my computer here, I had changed that over. Alright, so I don't know, that might have been a false trip on the magnet. Seems to have a little better throughput. Get up to this corner here and let this truck round the corner. I'll get out of his way. And that should do it.